Good morning, everyone. Welcome once again to one of the best sessions in Fredericton, the multicultural session. This morning, we have two gentlemen who are here to introduce us to the cadet program opportunities, which opportunities for children or people between the ages of 12 and 18. Before we start, that reminds me when I was 16, I joined the cadets, so I can really relate myself to being part of cadets. Um, we had a lot of fun. We went hiking. We did so many things. I grew up in Africa, Ghana, and that is where we had a cadet. So I think it could be slightly different from what we are going to listen today, and I can't wait to hear what these gentlemen have to say for us. I'm really happy that we've had people that are joining, and without wasting much time, I'll give the floor and the button to the gentlemen to introduce themselves and then set the ball rolling. Gentlemen, you are welcome to our session. The ball is in your court.
Thank you. I'm Lieutenant Navy Charles Laviolette. I'm a commanding officer of one of the unit here in Fredericton. Sorry about that. You might have seen me before when I introduced some of the activities at Science East earlier this fall,
Yeah.
but today we are here to present the cadet program. If during the session we are talking too fast, if interpreters you have hard time catching up, just let us know in the chat and we will slow down. This is not a problem. And with me today, I have Captain Brian Cummings, commanding officer of one of the Army Cadet unit here as well. So here is today's plan. We will introduce you to what the cadet program is. We will talk about the Sea Cadets, Army Cadets, and Air Cadets. And then we'll have a frequently asked questions session and a session for questions. I would ask that you keep all your questions till the end, as most of them will probably be answered at some point during the presentation. Let's start with a small video introducing the cadet program. As you saw on the video, there is a lot going on, a lot of opportunities and activities. So what is the cadet program? The cadet program is a national program for teenagers aged 12 to 18. It offers challenges, a lot of different activities, as you saw in the video, a lot of opportunity for skill development. We also offer opportunities to meet new people, and we train the citizens of tomorrow. Our program is based on the cadets by the cadets, meaning that we train our cadets to take the lead of the program and become leaders among the program itself. Our cadets will develop leadership skills. They will learn how to teach, and they will learn how to take care of a class, of a group, and how to manage people as well. Meaning that as they progress through the program, they will become the leaders and become examples for younger cadets. Our program is free to join, and you can join at any time of the year. Some activities that you saw in the video, but also others that were not mentioned, are leadership, citizenship, sports and fitness, marksmanship, drill, band, and many more. Our program is divided in three major components, and each unit will have its own flavor. Our program has Sea Cadets, Army Cadets, and Air Cadets. Each unit offers different activities based on their elements, but also some customs at the unit and some traditions as well. Here in Fredericton, we are host of 4 cadet unit. We have 1 Sea Cadets unit, 2 Army Cadets unit, and 1 Air Cadets unit. We will introduce each of those elements one by one by playing a short video and then presenting their own activities. Let's start with the Sea Cadets. The Sea Cadets is all about learning life on ship, life on boats, and life around water in general. Some of the activities that you saw in the video will include sailing, as you can see in the picture here on the board. We teach our cadets how to use the wind to move their own sailboat, normally 2 cadets per sailboat. Cadets will progress in this sailing environment. Some cadets will even become instructors and could be hired by civilian sailing clubs. Our cadets will get the opportunity to get civilian qualification from Sail Canada to progress through the levels. Other activities you saw in the video will include small craft. This is using power boats, such as smaller boats, whalers. Our cadets will learn to drive the boats and also use charts to navigate with the boats. Seamanship is all about the life on ships. Some cadets will be trained about um, co- sorry, fire combat training, um, floodings, emergency evacuations. They will also learn how to moor a ship to a dock and learn different knots that will help them on their sailing life. The Sea Cadets put a big focus on naval costumes, mostly from the Royal Navy, but also from the Canadian Royal Navy. Cadets will also learn about radio communications, and they will be allowed to get their radio communication card from Transport Canada. They'll also learn about flags and pennants. The Sea Cadet unit in Fredericton is the Royal Canadian Sea Cadet Corps 130 Fredericton. We train on Wednesday night from 6:15 to 8:45 p.m. And we train at Carleton Armory, located at 10 Carleton Street, just across the library. For any of the units today, if you are interested to join, there will be sheets available at your locations later on today. You can put your name and contact information on one of the sheet, and you will be contacted directly by this unit. If you also already know what you want to join, there will also be some summaries of today's presentation with a QR code that you can scan, and this will lead you directly to the joining instructions. For the next part, we will introduce you to the Army Cadets once again with a video, and then Captain Cummings will introduce you his unit.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me. I'm Captain Cummings. I'm the commanding officer of one of the units here in Fredericton. Some of the activities we saw in the video really highlight what we do in the Army Cadets, where my compatriot, Lieutenant Navy La Violette, focuses on life aboard ship. The Army Cadets are focused much more on life in the dirt. The program prides itself in its expeditions, so these are things like long-term hiking, camping, survival skills, and tying into that also things like map reading. Towards the end, you saw things with rappelling and rope work. Here in Fredericton, we have the opportunity to use the abseil tower. So this is like a slightly tamer version of rappelling. Our units have also had the chance to go to Timber Top. So this is a series of rappel and zip lining courses. Tying into our expedition focus, we also do things like canoeing at higher levels. There's the opportunity to do sea kayaking, mountaineering, so climbing mountains, horseback riding, and other related skills. In Fredericton, we have 2 Army Cadet units. There is 242 on Fredericton South, so that is downtown in the Carleton Street Armories. The same as the Sea Cadets, they parade Sunday evenings, 5 to 8. And then we have the much better unit, in my opinion, because it's mine. It's fine. 242 is a great unit. 3059. We're on the north side of Fredericton, so we cater to everyone on that side of the river. We parade Monday evenings, from 8:30 to 9 at the Kinsman Club. It's just across the street from Devon Middle School. Uh, our two units work together quite often, so one does not preclude the other. And then I believe later on in the presentation, there's also a bunch of activities that all three elements of the cadets cover, so I'll leave that there. But my unit in particular focuses a great deal on marksmanship. We have a number of qualified and experienced coaches and dedicated cadets. This wasn't mentioned anywhere else, but I thought I would mention it. If Lieutenant Navy Laviolette would like to chime in about his own unit, but at my unit, we have a number of cadets who speak English as a second language, and they might be able to assist a transition for people joining where English might not be their primary language. So we have cadets at my unit that speak French, Arabic, Farsi. If you think those might be helpful to having your child integrate with their peer group, is there will be people there that can help them on that end. But that's my little blurb. I hope everyone has a great day, and I would love to hear from people.
Thank you. We will now introduce the Air Cadets. Unfortunately, we do not have any officers from the Air Cadet unit today, but I will introduce their activities on their behalf. Let's start with a video showing you what they do. Where we had Sea Cadets learning everything about ships and life on water, Army Cadets learning everything about going outdoor and the expedition. Air Cadets are exactly that, about learning about things that fly. They will use Flight Simulator, some of them being used by real companies. They will have the opportunity to use aircrafts, gliders, which are non-propel aircrafts, and they will glide in the sky. Some cadets will have the opportunity to fly in a plane or in a helicopter. As they progress in the program, some cadets will actually become pilot. They will have the opportunity to go at a piloting school to get their license. Air cadets also are trained in aircrew survival, so they get basic skills on what people could do if during a plane crash, survival in forests as well. They also train a lot on effective speaking, so becoming good speakers in public, and aerospace, learning about space. Unfortunately, we do not send cadets to space. We have one Air Cadet Squadron here in Fredericton. It's 333 Lord Beaverbrook. They train on Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Carleton North Armory across the library. We have introduced you all three elements of the cadet program. There are a few things that are common to all of the cadets unit. Some activities such as leadership, marksmanship, drill and parades, Some unit will also offer band as an activity, so playing music in a marching band. And while not an activity per itself, cadets from all units have the chance to go on summer camps. These are not mandatory, but they are a nice opportunity for cadets. These summer camps will include different topics. Last summer, I sent a cadet in Halifax for sailing for 6 weeks. I also sent another cadet in Kingston, Ontario for a 6 week instructor course on sailing. And I also sent a cadet in British Columbia for 2 weeks for a seamanship course, so learning everything there is about knots and boats. I'll let Captain Cummings talk a bit about summer camps opportunities at their unit as well.
Yes. So last summer, my unit sent a cadet to British Columbia to do a 2-week course on mountain biking. So how to ride a mountain bike in difficult terrain and maintain the mountain bike for short durations. Um, I've also worked with the summer training program for the past 16 years. It's an excellent program. It runs anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks, depending on the age and seniority of a cadet. There's opportunities to travel across the entire country. Um, as we're still coming out of COVID, there's still plans to send cadets to other countries. There's often chances to go to the United Kingdom, France, Belgium, the Netherlands. In the past, we've also sent cadets to Australia, South Korea, Germany, several different ones to the United States. And for Army specific, sort of the peak summer training opportunity is the paratroop course. So a selection of around 40 cadets from across Canada are selected to do a course where they train to jump out of planes. Crazy, I know, they're perfectly fine planes. But this is actually a full Canadian Forces qualification. So if these cadets decide to carry on and join the Canadian Armed Forces, they will keep this qualification. So that's sort of the pinnacle of Army cadet training, of where we escape the dirt to go to the sky, to go back to the dirt.
Thank you. And some opportunities for air cadets for summer camps. Of course, flying is the bigger one. Some cadets will get their license. A few in each province, only a few in each province get this opportunity. But if the cadet is dedicated enough, they can get their glider or their power plane license. There are a lot of actual line pilot from Air Canada that started with the Air Cadets. You would also see the same for Olympic athletes that started as cadets, mostly in biathlon. You would have Legalek, who was an athlete a few years ago, who started in the cadets. For the next part, here on the board, you can see a summary of what was introduced today. This summary will be available as printouts at your location, either right now or later on today. On this summary, you can see all the 4 units we introduced today. So Sea Cadets 130, the 2 Army Cadets 242 and 3059 and the Air Cadets 333. You have a recap of activities offered by these units, their training days and dates, training hours, and location. There is also a contact information if you want to send them an email to ask your question. Here is their email. And if you are interested into registering your kids into the program, there is also a QR code at the bottom of the page that you can scan with your phone. Later on today, there will also be contact information available at your location. This is a place where you can put your name and either your phone number or your email address for one of the different units, and someone from this unit will contact you to answer your questions. Before we move to the question section, I want to go to the frequently asked questions. This might answer some of your questions, and then the lines will be open if you want to ask questions. So question number one that is frequently asked, how much does it cost? All of our program is free to join. Our activities and uniforms are provided to all cadets. For weekend activities, meals will be provided, but the whole activity is free to join. We've mentioned it earlier, so when do each cadet meet? So each cadet unit will meet once a week and will have some occasional weekend activities. The C cadets will train on Wednesday night. If you are interested in trying, actually tomorrow we have a sports night. Next week is a formal dinner, and the week after that we have a cadet parents marksmanship day. Army Cadets 242 are training on Sunday night. Army Cadets 3059 are training on Monday night. Do you have any special activities coming on, Captain Cummings?
Last Monday yesterday was low key because of the weather. We had a number of people who weren't able to make it. The majority of the staff for the unit lives outside the city. So last night we had a fairly low key evening. Next week we're doing a marksmanship day where cadets will compete, and depending on their placements, they will take home various parts of turkey dinner. We call this a turkey shoot. We do it leading up to some holidays. So the top place marksman will take home a full-blown turkey. And then the week after that is our final holiday get-together, where our cadets are doing baking. So they will come, they will learn how to bake cookies, and then bring those cookies home, or leave them with me.
Thank you. And the Air Cadets are training on Friday night. I see a question in the chat. I will answer just in a moment. We'll go through all the frequently asked questions before. One question we get often is, what is the difference between scouts and cadets? Well, both programs actually share a lot of similar goals. They both train youth, they provide opportunities for them. The difference will be in the approach and the structure. Another difference is that the cadet program is free to join, and all of our activities are also free because we are funded by the Department of National Defense. Another question we sometimes get is, are cadets military? Even though we have Sea Cadets, Army Cadets, and Air Cadets, none of the cadets are actually part of the military. They are just part of a civilian organization. The adults in charge of the cadet programs are military. So Captain Cummings and I are both military, and we were trained especially to take care of the cadet program. We do not have combat training, and we are not deployable to combat, but we learn how to plan activities. We had courses on teenagers' psychology, and we learned how to run a cadet unit. Another question we get often, where can I have more information or register my kid? So as mentioned earlier, if you want to add your name and your contact information to one of the lists, people from these unit will call you or contact you. You can also scan the QR codes at the bottom of the summaries that will be available today. Same QR code that you can see right now on the screen. Or you could go to cadets.ca and you'll get a ton of information about the program. Next question we get often is, when can I join the cadets, or when can I register as a kid? Our program is for teenagers aged 12 to 18. So as soon as your kid turned 12, they can join a cadet unit, and they can join at any time of the year. They do not have to join in September. They could join in February if their birthday comes to that end. If your teenagers are unsure about joining the cadets, I often suggest them to try. They can try a few days without any attachment. They could also bring friends, and maybe if they try as a group, they'll get a lot more fun. I will now go to the question section. If you have any questions, please put them into the chat or unmute yourself to ask the question. I will start with a question from the chat. So question from Laura. To participate in the program, does the young person need to be a permanent resident or Canadian citizen? To join the program, cadets need to be Canadian citizen or permanent resident, but we also welcome international students who are here for a long period of time. I hope, Laura, this answer your question. Captain Cummings, did you want to add something for this question?
Yes, we will also accept dependents of a person who is here on purposes on a temporary basis for education or employment. So the child of someone here on a temporary work or education visa, those are also acceptable.
Thank you. You were right. Do we have any other questions in the chat, or you can also unmute yourself to ask your questions? So
Can I ask
Kobe,
a question? Yeah,
oh yes,
I would
go
love
ahead.
to. Yeah, it might sound silly, but because looking at the age, 12 to 18, so obviously, 12 to 17 will be under care of the parents. Looking at the age, so if I have a child like at the age between 12 and 15, and as I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. So if I am a parent, do you guys have some form of a program, an open day for parents to come in and see what you guys do, because some parents are curious about what goes on there, so that they can also have a taste of it or a feel of it, and then it can also encourage them to enroll their children.
So the question was, as a parent, do you have any opportunities to see what is going on?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
the answer I would say yes. It might depend on each unit, but basically, if you go see the Sea Cadets on a Wednesday night, I will give the cadet and the parent a tour of the facility, explain our activities, show some of the equipment. I would also answer all the questions. So if you have questions, I suggest you contact one of the unit. They'll tell you the procedure. But I don't see a unit refusing to meet with a parent. So
Also, most units have committees made up primarily of parents who help organize, usually fundraising for sponsorships, because while the cadet program is free, sometimes not all of our things are covered by D&D, so the government, in which case these committees will do small-scale fundraising to cover these other things. With my unit, the most common thing we cover is snacks, because they're teenagers, so they are very food orientated. But these committees are usually made up primarily of parents. So even if a person isn't interested in joining the committee, most of them have open meetings where you could come and listen, listen to what the committee's talking about. And for the most part, all the staff at the units are fairly open. We have no real reason to hide anything from the parents, unless, of course, it bumps up to personal information that isn't ours. So,
Okay, thank
So
you.
you are right. The cadet program is a partnership between the Department of National Defense and the what we call leagues. So there's the Navy League of Canada, there's the Army Cadet League, and the Air Cadet League, and these are our civilian sponsors. So, and we have a board similar to a school would have a board, or any nonprofit that would have a board as well. Next question from Ezel. Can children join two units at the same time? So example being part of the Army Cadets and the Sea Cadets at the same time. The answer would be, unfortunately, not. Um, it is possible to try the different units before committing to one. It is also possible to do a year in the Army Cadets and then change to a different unit if you want. But you cannot be part of two units at the same time. If you start with one unit and after 2 years you change unit, the cadets will keep all of their progression, they will keep their ranks, they will be issued a new uniform, but they will be part of the same training group they were. They will be part of the third year training group, for example. So cadets do not lose their progress, but it is possible to change unit if needed, but unfortunately, the cadets cannot be part of two units at the same time. The next question is, can the newcomers join the program? For this, I am unfamiliar with some of the details, but Canadian citizens, permanent residents, and also dependent of those people will be able to join the program. So if the parent is a permanent resident, the kid will be allowed to join the program for sure. If you are unsure, contact the unit and they will give you more details. This might be something we need to ask for higher authorities. Unless Captain Cummings, do you have a better answer than mine?
I feel like this might be a terminology thing. I'm not sure what they mean by newcomer. Is this like people who are still in the process of immigrating or what have you?
I am not sure. I guess it's someone who came to Canada a month ago. This would be my
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. Someone that has trained in Canada with either not really, yeah, someone that has been in Canada for maybe the first 4 months or 5 months. Yeah, that is just settling into the system. Yeah.
It would most likely depend on how far along into the system they are, just because it's a government-funded program. A lot of our stuff when it comes to the cadets would rely on them being in the Canadian system. So the best answer I would give would be a case by case. If you're not sure, come talk to one of the staff members or send us an email, and we'll figure out an answer for the person who's interested.
And Captain Cummings, you added something nice into the chat about the 2 unit situation. If your teenagers join a cadet unit here in Fredericton and you move to St. John next year, they can join a new unit in St. John and they will keep their progress as well. Do we have other? Oh, go ahead.
As I say, even if they move outside the province, it's a national program, so the files can be pulled from any cadet unit in Canada. So you could have a cadet join here in Fredericton, and maybe your job takes you to Yellowknife. A couple years later, your child can join a cadet unit in Yellowknife and maintain all of their progress.
Do we have other questions in the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, we still have a few minutes. How long is the program? This is a good question. We normally train, we use the school year as a basic. So we start in September and we end in June. And cadets unit will train once a week, plus the occasional weekend activities. Over the summer, cadets have the opportunity to go on summer camps. These are not mandatory, and unfortunately, not everyone can go. We also understand that some cadets might have other commitments, and units are open to cadets missing a few times here and there. Cadets are not punished for missing out on activities. It's just they are losing good opportunities. But if a cadet is part of a soccer team and has to miss September because it's his soccer season, we understand the situation. If you have other questions, please let us know. We are here. If you think of a question after we are gone, I invite you to contact one of the unit that will be on the summary, so the page you see right now, and they will gladly answer your question.
Just another thought I have is we also cater to a wide variety of religious and cultural backgrounds. If you cadet might have restrictions there. Some of the more common ones are things like halal or kosher food. As long as we know ahead of time, we can accommodate for that. We can accommodate for other things such as we ran into something this past summer about Sikh cadets with their headdress and helmets, and we ended up purchasing special helmets so they could take part in activities. So there is no discrimination in regards to that. Just so long as you let us know ahead of time, we will do everything we can so that cadets can take part in everything. This also applies to health restrictions. If your child has an allergy or what have you, it's again, just as long as we know, we will do everything we can to make sure they can do everything in the program, as long as it's safe.
And maybe we can end with testimonials. I was a cadet myself. I joined the cadets in 2002, and I was a cadet for 6 years. And the cadet really changed my life. This is how I met most of my friends in high school. This is how I got my first job. And today, this is how I met my girlfriend. So cadets really had a big impact on my life. I developed many skills. Um, Mostly leadership is the thing that influenced my life the most right now. I have a lot of skills that other people might not have, and employers knows they know the value of the program, and they will often hire candidates that have been part of the cadet program as well. How about you, Captain Cummings? What is your testimonial?
I also joined the cadets when I was a child. I actually joined the unit I'm currently the commanding officer of. It was in a different location. It has since moved, but I joined the program. It really helped develop my self confidence. I met lifelong friends. Uh, I have not met a partner through the program, though every other member of my staff has met their significant other through the program, so I feel a little left out sometimes. Uh, but the amount of things you learn is incredible. I've used skills with cadets through my various degrees in post secondary education, through most of the jobs I've had, and that's why I've stuck with the program because it really changed my life as a kid, and I kind of want to pay that back. So that's why I stuck with it. There's an opportunity for people who were with the program as cadets to join and help as adults later on. Um, it's an incredible program. It's a great opportunity to meet people, learn new skills. I obviously can't recommend it enough because I'm still here.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I can stay here a few more minutes if there are questions, but maybe we could adjourn the meeting when you're ready.
Okay, right. Yeah. In addition to what you have said, I think, yeah, when we started the program, I said I was once a cadet, and I think it's really shaped my life. I'm able to stand every situation. I do travel a lot, and life situations, it shaped me so much that I'm disciplined, and it's really helped me in my all walks of my life. So I think if not for employment or finding a girlfriend, it can shape your mind. And yeah, so yeah, I will encourage people to enroll their children to be part of it. Yeah.
And one thing we did not mention, but if your kid is 15, he or she can still join the program. So we have a late join option, and they will be put into a group of the similar age. So even if they are 15 or 16, they can join the program as well, and they'll be moved into a group of the same age.
I had a cadet join my unit last year who was 18. Um, he's a great kid. We're looking forward to him helping with the program when he finishes. He recently got accepted to an engineering degree here in Fredericton, so we're very happy for him. So even if your cadet is 18, if your child is 18 and they might be interested, you can always come in, have a look, and maybe we could talk about looking at the adult side of the program where they can assist with the cadets on that end if they're interested in that. Because I don't know about Lieutenant Navy La Violette, but we're always on the lookout for new people to help with the program on the adult end as well.
Right, so I'll stay here a few minutes if you have questions. If not, Kobe, I invite you to dismiss your classes, dismiss your people. Um, but I'll stay here a few minutes to answer questions. You are muted, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll at this point in time bring the curtains down. I think we are exhausted with questions. Thank you all for coming, especially our gentlemen who are here who introduced the cadets to us. We thank you so much. I have really enjoyed this session because I know how it feels like to be a cadet. And I encourage all parents or individuals who fall into the category that they should come to you guys and enroll and just have fun, have more experience, and I think they will never regret. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Jane, for this session. Thank you for our technical team. Thank you for everyone actually joined this session. I say, have a wonderful day and be safe and keep thinking about cadet. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Have
hope
a
to
nice
see you
one,
some other
everyone.
time. Okay then. Adios. Okay. Bye bye now.